All right.
Live. Cool. Happy Friday.
Friday, everybody. It's winter again.
Yeah, it's freaking snowy today. Probably snowed like 2-3 inches last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a night. It's still like sunny and nice out. So it's not that cold, really.
It melts off the roads by the afternoon.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, not bad. I was traveling at like 7 a.m. and it was fine, really. So
we had my daughter didn't have school, so
oh, sweet.
we slept in a day off.
It's awesome.
It's all right. Yeah.
That's the best. What are we drinking today?
Snow Angel.
Snow Angel.
Yeah, I got tons of it.
We're probably approaching the end of the season, although you're stocked up for the apocalypse.
Pretty much. I don't drink it that fast, so
that's the thing. I'm a Snow Angel crackhead, so
I usually get 2 to 3 bags, and then I have like that. Like, it lasts forever.
Right. I think it's
Snow Angel just straight too, nothing extra. Just the goodness.
Originally, I believe I had it with Irish butter, but then like straight is still just as good.
Oh, it's amazing.
Just as good. Mm-hmm. It just brings different things to the table.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, I had some of that Catalina's Thunderkiss with cacao, Irish butter, and 2 shots.
Nice.
And it was awesome.
Damn, that sounds good.
That was really good.
I've been sipping on Cafe Bustillo recently.
Oh, right on.
For that, yeah. I've been not mainlining it, but like I have a nice bold espresso in the morning, and then if I need tired in the afternoon or need a little nice warm pick me up, then I'll have another one. But I'm kicking on that espresso.
Cafe Bustillo is impressive for a instant coffee.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful find.
Quick, cheap little deal.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
And I was reading just about it, just as a company, and there's there's people who just want cheap, strong ass coffee. So that's what we do. We don't make it too insane or anything. It's just
it's good.
It hits you.
Yeah, it's all right.
And with the packs that you gave me in Iceland, all that stuff, perfect.
Yeah, now you know. But yeah, it's a thing.
Travels well.
Yeah, how many people mix it with Maxium now?
Yeah,
Korean coffee.
That's the mixture.
That's the stuff,
the secret,
dude. Yeah,
that's the travel hack right there.
I did that when I was traveling. I think going to Athens on Sunday. I did like the canoe and the Cafe Bustillo.
Yeah.
Put it all together. It was amazing.
I'm sure you're on another wavelength.
Oh yeah. I was definitely. I was listening to a podcast. Some dude was interviewing Mike Tyson. So I was in another world.
Yeah.
Because I love Tyson how he just whispers.
Yeah.
He whispers.
Have you listened to Mike Tyson's podcast?
No, I haven't. I keep meaning to listen to Hot Boxing, and I keep not doing it, and it's driving me nuts. I need to do it.
That Israel Adesanya's podcast is pretty cool.
Was it cool?
Yeah.
Adesanya's out there, dude.
Yeah.
So
he's just kind of a goofy dude. So
yeah, I love people like that. He's out there and he can fight. That's pretty cool.
We love those kind of folk.
Yeah, those are our people.
Yeah.
That's what we are. So
I was thinking this week, I was having not a bad week, but it's hard to. I was under duress from at the outside, people were kind of barraging me here and there, and with different things, and I felt overwhelmed.
Everyone coming at you.
Yeah. So it's just kind of I felt overwhelmed on a different front, on a lot of different fronts. But
you were playing Missile Command.
Yeah.
You couldn't stop all the missiles.
Yeah. That's a really good analogy to it, because that's exactly kind of how I felt. I was oh fuck, just taking things out. But I was kind of having trouble keeping my head above water, so took a little time to meditate and hang out and watch Killzone,
Yeah. Okay, so even though I kind of hinted at the ending for you, it was still a shock, still kind of a surprise.
Yeah, I really didn't see that coming at all.
No.
Even though you kind of told me and stuff, told me the premise, I could have guessed, but not quite.
Yeah.
But relating it back to my week, just making choices, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about last episode about making choices. I watched the movies about making choices. My week, talking about making choices.
Yeah.
And it immediately kind of reflects and recycles. So I was kind of thinking about and kind of had to reanalyze all my choices. I was okay, you're not hydrating enough, you're not sleeping enough, you're not you're having too much caffeine, blah blah blah. Like I was kind of like,
and you start kind of breaking it down to small stuff.
Yeah.
Of not just and start looking at your own choices.
Right. So it's just like
this reminds me of what we should talk about today. Life is still fair.
Life is still fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a little continuation because of the movie and stuff.
Because you got to react to it.
Yeah. Well, that and just like, I was telling Brooke about. This is just like such a very extreme example of that. Obviously, like everyone's fucking dying. Everyone's like dying in extreme fashion.
It's the action-packed version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's having like crazy kick fights, kicking people off buildings and shit, and like throwing people all over the place. Like,
and they're chasing that dude.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's obviously like, so there's like Michael Bay level like Hollywood type shit, and there's like kung fu movie Hollywood shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's
It's
a whole
far
other
above
realm of just insanity.
Yeah, because Michael Bay is just explosions and car chases, which is cool.
That's very in right now, but like back then, like the very like dramatic, quick fight scenes into like some type of dramatic like hanging on by a cliff, you know, or like hanging on by a finger.
Yeah, because keep in mind, Killzone's 2005.
Yeah.
So it's a kung fu cop drama with a really great plot.
Yeah. Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Did you watch any behind the scenes stuff?
I didn't get to watch all of it. I watched some of it. Not a ton though.
Because like with the fight scenes and stuff, like that one in the alley.
Yeah.
Like where Ma, like before he goes up to meet Wong Po, right? That was added on later. They ran out of money.
Okay.
And then Donnie Yen was like, it needs another fight scene.
Yeah.
I need to do it. And so he's like, the reason it's in an alley is because alleys are cheap. I came up with as much money as I could, and alleys are really inexpensive. We did that in like a week. It just took a few days, and it was just him and that like, and most of that was improvised.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily choreographed. They're just like, I have a stick, you have a knife. I think I should have a stick because I'm a cop, and you of course have the knife. And okay.
Yeah. I love that one.
It was such a cool scene.
That was a great scene.
Yeah.
That dude was nuts too. Just really nonchalant walking by to strip slaughtering folk. Like,
yeah, and the thing about him is he's never played a villain before. That was his first villain, which was...
It's like kind of good that way.
Oh,
it's like the virgin villain really digs into like the darkness and shit. He was like kind of smiling and cutting people up and shit.
Yeah, he was nuts.
Yeah.
But he had like Donnie Yen created like a whole history for him that he wanted to have in the film, but they didn't have the budget.
Right.
And so that was...
I would watch a movie about him alone.
Like, that guy's cool, man. I can't remember his name, but...
The thing I love about like kung fu cop dramas, kung fu movies in general, but just like those types of martial arts is like they always like Wong Po, like he's kind of a fat guy. You know?
Sammo Hung, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know who Sammo Hung is? He's a comedic actor. Like he grew up with Jackie Chan. They went to school together, and they kind of came up together. And got like he's the old school famous, but he's a super good actor and martial artist and just fight scene guy, right? He like helped invent the whole genre. And he's never played a villain. He always does comedic roles, and he always does he's the hero, and he just does all kinds of stuff. And
I like
he was
a comedic flip, or like a non-villain.
And he was also in a show with Arsenio Hall called Martial Law, long ago, which is a really cool show. He used to make jokes about, I'm not out of shape, I'm just fat, and then he would beat a bunch of people up.
Yeah.
But so for him, that was 100% 180. And so it was like, the fact that he played such a great villain, he was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, what an awesome villain.
So, like, it's almost like, I listen to a bunch of, like, comedy podcasts and shit, and, like, they're always, like, super self-deprecating and blah, blah, blah. They're, like, it's almost like the villain and the comedian are very parallel, like, are very close, just because, like, not that every comedian's a degenerate, but there's, like, a semi, like...
There's, like,
stigma with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny.
But there was like,
they can play the best villains, I think.
Yeah,
they dig into the darkness. They have the darkness.
They have the darkness. There. Yeah, it's there, and
the comedy can be dark.
Because comedy is dark as fuck.
Yeah, you gotta have.
Yeah. But no, that was the big deal about that film. Is Samo was he'd sort of been in semi-retirement for a while, and he was getting back in the game.
And that was with that.
And the director tossed this at him. He's like, yeah.
He was probably like, fuck it, that sounds dope.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But he was such a good villain.
But that's the thing, too. Like, kind of a fat guy.
Yeah.
But I love when fat guys beat the shit out of people, like in spectacular athletic fashion, you know?
Yeah, and that's him. Like, there's no stunt double action going on. He can do all that.
They're moving too.
Even at his age.
That's the thing I always forget about like movies like that is like the speed.
Yeah.
Like, that's the fun part, and I kind of forgot because I'm so grappling heavy, and like John Wick is slower because of the grappling. It's like
it slows it down,
and they show it with the cinematography and all that crap. But with that, it was like very like flash, like you know.
Yeah, because it had a little bit of the MMA and grappling in it.
Yeah, they did when he was doing triangles and
hit him with the triangle,
arm bars, and then slammed out of it. And shit.
You get thrown across the room and shit.
I know.
But it was.
Let me teach you.
Well, here's the cool thing about it is he doesn't really go into this, but if you compare that to say Flashpoint, and if you watch I've just recently got all the behind the scenes stuff on all this, so I've been binging it.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a transitional phase. He was just learning it, and so like if you watch the movie commentary, it's Donnie Yen talking about how much he fucked it up. He's like, why did I cross my feet? I did that wrong. Yeah, he's like, it looks cool, but he was like, I hadn't learned all of it yet, and it's a transitional thing, and people aren't used to seeing it.
Yeah, I like that.
You had to kind of have both.
Yeah. Yeah. But then also think about then, like most people don't know what they're looking at. Now they would see that. Now like, his feet are crossed. But like now I look back, I was like, oh shit, an homage to grappling early. You know?
Yeah, way early on.
That was, I mean, like MMA and shit was obviously kicking off and hot, but it wasn't like jiu-jitsu wasn't like a house.
It wasn't mainstream yet. It was like for us, it was.
Right.
And we knew what it was, but even then it wasn't.
Even now, it's not like mainstream. It's getting there.
It's getting there.
It's like fucking B-League mainstream.
Yeah, it's getting known.
Which I'm happy about.
But I'm sad about.
There's a life cycle.
I remember especially when Zuffa sold the UFC, Rich Franklin said something very poignant, is that there will never be another regular person in the UFC.
Yeah.
Because he was a math teacher that never got to be a fighter. Or like Forrest Griffin was just like, fuck it, I enjoy this. You know, they were regular guys who became champions.
Right. That's very true.
And now it's freak ass athletes. Like, you know, did you see the dance off between Adesanya and Romero?
Yeah.
Have you seen their dance off?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Romero doing like backflip to splits and shit.
That whole like just random back handspring deal.
Fight wasn't even like warmed up, really. Like
no, just standing there.
Just doing it.
Now keep in mind Romero's 45 years old.
Yeah. Had jeans on.
Is a short guy, but fucking huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, and so like that's the game.
Yeah. But Romero's like, people like here think he like is a freak athlete. He is a freak athlete, but he's like, everyone in Cuba looks like me. He's like,
cab drivers look like me. Yeah. This is what we do. Yeah,
it's funny. It's very funny.
But I'm like, I want to go to Cuba. I need to eat that food. I'm going to drink that coffee.
That coffee, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard about Matt Brown talks about training boxing in Cuba and how just like basic their facilities are. Mm-hmm. It's like it's kind of a dump, but everyone's badass.
Yeah. Just about like Muay Thai gyms. They're fucking like tires and like fucking a shitty ring and like pads that are like
just beat up.
Yeah.
Like you don't need anything cool. You just need to know what you're doing.
That's the thing. Like that's a very like Americanized like idea of a gym and like a training and like MMA training now. Yeah. That's also another thing of like the life cycle of things. Like now MMA training is like, you know, fucking lavish and like high level shit.
It's gotten smarter.
Yeah.
But it's also gotten less gritty.
Yeah. It's parallel. It goes up. Like
where it used to be. Well, not sometimes it doesn't. I'm waiting for it to. Yeah. There are certain drop-offs. Like if you look at boxing, boxing training used to be a lot better. Mm-hmm. It died. Like it used to be like a lot of my cool shit is boxing training from the 20s and 30s.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What is old is new again.
Yeah, it's always been good. It just you got fooled by the flash.
Yeah.
You know, and like I remember this one champion boxer. I can't remember his name, and I probably shouldn't say it because I'm going to diss him. But I was watching. I love to watch the lead up to fights. You know, I love behind the scenes stuff and all the 24/7s and Showtime behind whatever all that stuff. But he had his strength and conditioning wasn't good, so he discovered CrossFit and hired a CrossFit trainer for boxing.
Right.
I'm like, that makes no sense.
Follow the Flash or whatever.
Like, I mean, yeah, you're going to be in a lot better shape if you hadn't had any proper conditioning. But then, you're a fucking millionaire and you're a champion and, like, you didn't do anything right?
Yeah.
Damn you.
Yeah.
That pisses me off.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, that was the wrong choice, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to be better, but and so, I don't know. Is life fair? Yeah.
That's the thing with, like, with CrossFit and things like that. Like, it's great in its own right.
It's its own thing.
Yeah. Let it be that.
And if you're out of shape, it'll get your ass in shape.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You get stronger, you get
everything.
whatever. Like,
yeah.
But
there's sort of a
don't expect like tremendous crossover to jiu-jitsu or tremendous crossover to boxing. Like,
well, people think because they're in shape, there's a crossover,
mm-hmm.
and they think that their choice was correct because I'm stronger than that guy, or I could last. And then you meet someone real, like you're like,
just pick that apart.
And you're like, well, fuck, okay.
I'm tired, and there's 14 minutes left.
Oh damn! Why is he smiling as he holds me down? He's not even sweating. Oh jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to tell people.
Mm-hmm.
That there's not as much crossover as you want there to be.
Mm-hmm. Like, sorry, there just isn't.
That just it's not there. No matter how much stuff you toss at me, like your information's being misused.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting bit of choice.
Mm-hmm.
When you convince someone that their good choices aren't good for everything, or that their bad choices even exist.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's funny. But yeah, like, the other thing with Killzone.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, the implementation of grappling was cool, but, like, just the insanity of the striking and things like that.
Nuts?
So fun, like, almost comic, because, like, I was just, like, smiling during fight scenes.
But
this is great.
It's so great, isn't it?
Because that's what it's what it's for. It's just purely enjoyment.
Yeah.
You know, it's not
absolutely, because that's really like what it was put in for. It was, this is too much of a dramatic movie. It needs to be. You gotta have some action in it,
right?
And it is just enjoyable,
right? And it wasn't like over peppered with it. You know, it's not like excessive.
No, just enough.
Yeah, and that
like, was the part of the beauty of it.
Yeah, because he's like, it needs one more, and like, it needs to be a very kind of important one because there's like symbolism, but behind each one, because every time something happens to somebody or somebody dies or whatever, it matters. So
it mattered.
It's not just like a random fight. Like,
but Donnie Yen talks about that a lot too. Is he has, if you look at the credits, he's credited as the action director, and literally what that means is he takes over the set. The director of the film sits back and watches, and Donnie Yen takes over the entire set for those scenes, and he consults with the director about this has to matter. This isn't just a fight scene; it has to go with the flow of the movie and the mood of it. And at this point in the movie, the fight needs to be this way because it has to mean something.
Right.
Which is why Donnie Yen's fights are so good.
Yeah.
It's because they're characters in the film. Excuse me, I gotta go wipe my nose.
Go for it.
Cold weather, man.
I know.
Crushing it.
February in Columbus, Ohio. That's what we get. Killzone, phenomenal movie. You definitely need the subtitles unless you speak the language. I think it's Korean. Is it Korean? Or is it... What is it?
No, Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, okay.
Hong Kong. And being that it was made after the handover, they have a funny loophole that they tried to do. Of I don't know if you noticed, but it said it took place in like 1995 or something. They do that for a reason.
Okay.
Because Hong Kong before 97 was free and independent and not part of a communist country.
Yeah.
And China keeps ramping up these weird ass restrictions on how police officers can be portrayed and what you can do and certain things. And so oftentimes you'll see a Kung Fu cop drama from Hong Kong very blatantly say, this is 1996. Just so they can do cool shit and have like evil cops that do bad things, and have people die, and and not piss off the not piss off the government,
right? And just be like, it was a different time.
Yeah, which is a really weird thing, and everyone sort of tiptoes around that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because Hong Kongers, they this is what I've been told and what I know from people that are Chinese and live in Hong Kong or from the mainland and go back and forth. I've had discussions with people about this. They love having an identity. Hong Kong is a very it's 70% foreigners. Like everyone speaks whatever.
Yeah,
you can speak Cantonese and everything else down there, and you just get around with English. You're fine, you know. And they liked going back to China for the fact that it gave them an identity of people are from they're Chinese.
Yeah,
and they're like, cool, we're Chinese, but then they're like, fuck, it's communist. We don't lose all our rights.
Right.
Like this sucks. And so it's a weird ass dichotomy. I can't talk anymore. I have brain damage. It's a weird ass dichotomy of nationalism and pride mixed with mixed with like sort of fear, really.
Right.
And you see all the protests happening right now. They have guerrilla protesting. They'll show up, they'll protest for like 10 minutes and then disappear.
Yeah.
It's very cool shit. But that's why. Is they like most people really like? I mean, in the States we don't really have that as much.
Right,
Are we American? I mean, North American. I get real weird about that. I very rarely say American. I say U.S. or States, because like it's North American, South America, guys. But we don't have almost like a race pride of like when you're Chinese, like dude. They have the same amount of pride in their country that we do in ours. Absolute same level, which is actually can be very cool.
Yeah,
and make for a great soccer match. I'll tell you that. I almost got killed once after the U.S. Women, I think, beat China, and I wore my USA shirt to school and told everyone to fuck off. We won, and that was hilarious. I got followed by someone at the grocery store, some homeless dude.
Motherfucker.
Oh, it was funny, man. No one's violent there. At least when I was there.
Just give me the stink eye.
They get on your shit, man. It's really funny.
That's good.
But we don't have that. And if we do, it's like fucking white racist shit.
Yeah. Or just like, I don't know, I feel like just like when it comes to like sports shit like that, it's just like it's mayhem either way. Like you're just gonna burn some shit.
Sports is sort of the weird representation of it, but we don't have a 5,000-year-old history to pull from.
Yeah.
In the United States. All of us have to go to our ancestry from another country.
Yeah. Everyone's from somewhere else.
Yeah, whereas in China, literally damn near 6,000-year-old culture. Continuous culture. Like, and so it's a weird thing, but that's why if you watch a good Hong Kong film like that, you're going to see hints of different things.
Yeah. Get a little refill, a little
Thanks,
shot.
sir. I love the way this sounds when I edit, actually.
A snow angel. It sounds like angel's wings.
It does. It's beautiful.
But yeah, life is fair, and that's a very extreme representation of it.
It is a very extreme, because everyone had a proper consequence almost for what they did. But you like how everyone kind of had like a little resolution moment before they died?
Right. Yeah, everyone kind of had their moment. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Some of it was very blatant. Like 5 seconds before you die, you get to talk to your daughter for the last time.
Right.
And then you're stabbed. And you're like, well, shit. I need to open the gift before I die. And it's so good.
Yeah.
And
I was like, you know what?
Great.
I'm glad that happened. You know? A little satisfaction with it.
Yeah, and it's very satisfying, but it's, a cool, like, blatant movie way to put it in. But then it makes you think about it.
Yeah. But then, like, also that's kind of like semi-honorable that way.
Yeah, it gives everyone
a tattoo in the head and fucking step over him and shit.
It gave everyone a little bit of honor to die with.
Yeah.
Which is also a really cool storytelling thing. Yeah, it gave you a little bit of empathy for these guys who weren't necessarily the best.
Yeah. It's not just like henchman number one. It's like he has a story and he's done some things and he's not feeling great about it, and still he's got to eat some shit about it. So he's got to get kicked in the face for it. So
the balance of it was very neat. But now you see what I mean by balance. And that's a very Chinese concept. It's almost like, we would in the States we'd call it the world is black and white. Of you get as much good as you get bad, you get as much bad as you get good. If that's how it plays out.
That's like almost, I think, weirdly how like some of my like anxiety stems from something like that. Though it's just like I like jaywalked, gonna get kicked in the face for it. Yeah, it's like gonna get kicked in the face for that. Like,
I actually do that too. Like, that's coming back somewhere. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
that's gonna hurt. Or like I'll get nailed and like break a rib or something and be like, I deserve that.
Yeah,
I deserve that.
Then I'll be like, like I'll like stub my fucking toe or like jam something. I was like, it's because I stepped on that ant on accident. Fuck. Like,
yeah.
It's like I'll like call back a moment or just like make up something like, it's because I broke a plate the other day. Like,
that was really important.
Like goofy ass neurotic.
Yeah.
You know.
Like when I hurt my toe, I was talking about a few weeks ago, and I ruptured a tendon. One of the main like dorsiflexor tendons in my big toe, the big one on top. And see, it's coming back now.
Yeah.
It's starting to stick out again.
I see the space though.
But see right here? Yeah. If you look at the other one.
Yeah.
See, that's supposed to look like that, and look how flattened out it is right now.
It's
fucked.
Angry.
Yeah. It's not nearly as bad as it was. I can lift my toe up again, and so it should unstick.
How'd that happen?
Dude stepped on my foot.
That was it.
That was it.
And that's what happened.
That's what happened.
Jesus Christ.
Which means it was gonna happen anyway. My feet have been destroyed.
Yeah.
Like,
I was doing pipes the other day, and someone was like, that just hurts my ankles. I was like, this saves my ankles.
Saves
my feet.
them, buddy.
I'm like, this hurts. Like, dude, you need to fucking do it.
Do it
like,
all the time.
He was like, damn, it looks insane. I'm like, yeah, but my feet feel amazing.
Yeah,
like,
strong as fuck, bro. But yeah, like that's just from kicking shit. Most of my life, I flattened all these tendons
breaking
out,
it down, yeah.
and it's been fucked up, and so it was gonna happen anyway. And so, but see, it's starting to come back. You look at it from the side.
Yeah.
It's starting to stick back up. And
but compared to the other one,
compared to the other one, it's freaky. Yeah. Like it's not there.
For anyone listening, like the dorsiflexion, like those tendons that run up your big toe, you
on the top of your foot.
Yeah, you pull your toes up. Those tendons. Up. His left one is pretty much non-existent, and his right one is very defined and like a fucking
prominent
cable.
Huge. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So
it'll come back.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to pop it at one point. I'll be like, "Can you toe hold me?" Like literally, like, and just pop the scar tissue.
Don't worry about me tapping. Just crank on it a little. Sometimes though, like, when my knees are like feeling weird, like a good calf slice kind of opens everything up.
Oh man, my right knee has been funky, and we did a bunch of like Lachlan Giles sort of entrances into like ankle locks and knee bars and shit at in Nogi one day. And man, fixed my knee right up.
See?
Just scared the shit out of my partner.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of a shitty day for me because I couldn't get it. And I'm like, I should be able to do this.
But it served a different function.
But it totally served a different function because like by the end of class I was like, ooh, feels good.
Yep. Yeah. And that's like one of those things, like you might not have understood the concept of class or whatever, but doing jiu-jitsu and doing that like helped your knee.
Fixed my knee up real good, man.
It helped you.
But it's a weird balance and choices.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be negative consequences. We're talking about a movie where every choice ended up being horribly negative.
Yeah.
Right. But it was a great movie. But then the choices of fairness can be weird like that of, okay, I spent a lifetime destroying my joints. But then I switched up modalities and went from striking to grappling, and because it was opposite, it rebalanced my body. But sometimes that requires things to sort of be crunched.
Yeah.
And scar tissue to be torn out.
Yeah.
And to
open it up.
To open back up.
Yeah.
When I popped that rib, and I've kind of a shattered rib that was held together by a bunch of scar tissue, and I'd kind of forgotten how broken it was.
Yeah.
But now it's gone back into a better place. It still hurts. It's getting better, and everything else is starting to get stronger and better. And I'm okay with that. But that's a choice. And so I made a choice to have all these bad things sort of happen to me in an adventurous life, pursuing whatever it was I was pursuing.
Yeah.
But then I also made the choice to kind of continue that pursuit in a different direction and allow that to sort of break me back into place.
Yeah. But then coming back to it, you have dignity in accepting that you're like, okay, I did this to myself, now I have to fix myself. That's the honor and the death.
That's the honor and the death, yeah. That was And so it's sort of like an honor in my rebirth of being able to accept that I chose it. And people, like, I talk about my injuries and shit, and people are like, that's horrible. I'm like, no, it's not.
I know, yeah.
I wanted this life.
Yeah, it's just like, I fucking signed up for that, Like, it's kind of funny when people, even in jiu-jitsu, like people get pissed off or whatever. It's just kind of like, this is what you signed up for, dude. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, really.
That's how it is.
Like, this hurts, that hurts. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I gotta say about that.
Like
that
what you
hurts
don't
now. That's the end.
like, what you don't realize is everybody's got something hurting.
Oh, yeah.
They just don't talk about it.
Fuck yeah.
Like, it's not perfect. Even the best guy in the room has something fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That probably sucks.
A myriad of things.
Yeah, a myriad of things that are kind of wrong, and he just kind of trains through it and fixes it, and that's life.
Yeah.
I like to tell that to new parents. Like, because infants are overwhelming as fuck. They're helpless,
like
cute little blobs of awesomeness. Yeah. But, dude, you've never been more exhausted in your life because you have no room for error.
Yeah.
Zero room for error.
That's what it was. Yeah. I was listening to a podcast and it was like about it's another comedy podcast, but it's like run specifically for moms. Like,
nice.
She just talks about like mom hacks.
I gotta listen to that shit. That'd be funny as hell.
Fucking funny.
I'll love that.
It's called the podcast is called Where My Mom's At, but it's under like the Your Mom's House podcast umbrella, and it's like Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky.
Yeah.
I can't say her last name, but just super goofy shit. But she was kind of mentioning a lot of that stuff in the past couple of weeks,
and it makes me laugh because, like, you know, when things aren't going to go as planned, and when people are like, "This is not how it's supposed to be," but yes, it actually is.
Yeah.
This is what you signed up for. Is just the random shit that's going to happen, and guess what? Don't fuck up.
Yeah.
Baby will die.
Yeah.
You got to do it right.
And they're like, they're talking about like self-care as a mother, and they're like, oh, you should do yoga, and it's like, and they're talking about like stupid articles that are like, just set aside an hour of the day. Like, when?
Like, I have a fucking hour.
When, motherfucker? Like, but then they're talking about like, you're doing everything yet you're doing nothing at the same time. Like, and that's just.
Oh my god, I need to listen to this podcast because I talk about that all the time.
Yeah, and I don't have children or anything, but like I witnessed it.
You're preparing well, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I witnessed it through my sister and like how she's changed up her approach to things. You know, obviously
your approach changes. Like that joke when Sean Foster was on, and I was like, add an hour to everything. He's like, fuck yes, I used to be on time for things. And he kind of chronicled as he had more children how he got later and later. And like he knew exactly what I was talking about. Yeah.
And that's really just like, that's why I listen to that sort of thing, because I don't really have that sort of perspective. So it's not necessarily like...
Well, you're not going to gain it. Like, you can't imagine this.
Yeah.
But what you it's interesting to hear, and you're going to gain perspective. And because you're teaching and babysitting as much as you are, you're gaining a skill set.
Yeah.
There are baseline skills, just physical application of literally just being able to change a diaper. Or knowing how to hold a kid for 5 hours.
I've saved some kids from busting heads on shit, just like instinctively, like I'll palm it and catch them and shit. Like, oh my god!
Like I fucking know how. Yeah,
just like I'm Spider-Man.
But that's like dad instinct, right? And you've practiced all that. It will make having kids infinitely easier. It's so funny, and just you get the reps on the basic stuff that people don't think about.
Yeah.
And then you don't think about it either. And then if you have a child, and you're like, oh crap. I know how to do this.
Oh yeah,
like
I even just think about like the first time I picked up my niece. Like I was like, oh god, I don't know how to hold this thing, like this squishy creature.
Stop wiggling.
Yeah, this little critter rolled up in a burrito. Yeah. And now when I picked up my nephew, I can sling him around, whatever.
Yeah, he's fine.
You learn kind of like
and you get comfortable with it.
But then I think martial arts helps with that more so.
Oh, completely.
Obviously, because your reaction time,
your body control
with shit's better. Like, you know, like
you feel
what
movement.
What levers are, so you can kind of like just like hold them down by a knee and just like with a finger.
I got it. Yeah, and you can do it without hurting them.
Yeah,
know that and without the fear of hurting them too.
Yeah, you just misdirect the energy. You're just kind of like, all right, you go hold there, like, or whatever.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, it's really they're just goofy little creatures, you know.
Master grapplers and fighters, though, man. Tacticians.
My nephew's grip on my finger, I thought he was gonna break it the other day.
Baby grips are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh man, I love the baby grip.
Can't they aren't they able to like hang from that or something?
Oh hell yeah! The first it's an infant reflex.
Yeah,
and so I think that's a 6-month one. So it goes away. But my niece, when she was born, it started out with just, she liked to grab my fingers. Like, from the time she was born, I'd lift her up and swing her. And a few times I hung her from a coat rack. From the closet bar, like in the closet, I'd just grab onto it, and she liked to hang.
Yeah.
When she was a little baby, and she just, I'd be like, don't tell anybody. But she would just swing. But yeah, monster grips, man.
Yeah.
Baby grip is amazing. But yeah, it's an infant reflex, and it goes away. I think it's one of the 6-month ones.
Interesting.
And so it's it's a thing.
Is that some like leftover?
It's a leftover primate thing.
Yeah.
If you look at primates from like monkeys on their backs.
Yeah.
And so you see a little monkey just hanging on.
Right.
Like that's what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And if the baby's hands are shaped differently, the lever is different.
Yeah.
They're smaller, but everything's sort of closer together.
Yeah.
And so like the difference between the length of their thumb and the length of their fingers is much closer. And so they have better leverage.
Interesting.
So they have like monkey leverage.
Yeah.
Like if you look at bicep's the easiest example. The bicep of a chimpanzee versus bicep of a human. If you look at our attachment, it's right next to our elbow. On a chimp, it's right in the middle. So they don't have shit for extension.
Yeah.
But I saw a study once, a mother chimpanzee sitting down holding her baby. They gave her a rope that was tied to a truck. One hand sitting down. Just didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
The
pulling complex is insane.
Well, because your strength is like because it's the leverage of where the attachment is. You lose a shit ton of mobility.
Sure.
But your strength like infinitely increases by like serious magnitudes.
Yeah.
And so little babies, if you look at how they're built, their arms and legs are the same length.
Yeah.
They're like little bowling balls, but their hands are really weird like that too. And so the leverage is different. And that's why they have this weird ass baby strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like I was playing with my niece and she was doing like crazy horse. She was like on my back or something. She was kind of just like hanging on. Like the way she dug into like it was an insane grip. I was like, holy shit!
Like she just knew the grips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
or like how little babies lift up their legs.
Yeah.
And they can just hold them there forever. Like
well, like even like how babies posture. Like the posture is phenomenal.
Because it has to be. They're gonna fall over if it's not. They don't have any strength.
And then like how they get up. It's the technical get up in jiu-jitsu. Like it's the same shit.
But 100% perfect though because they can't fuck it up or they'll fall over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and so it has to be perfect, which is, it kind of, you tie it right back into learn the technique.
Yeah.
Take the strength away and the technique is right.
You kind of like relearn your infant reflexes.
But yes.
Posture back, get your hands strong.
It's kind of a funny genius of it. And I wish I could have I'd love to like talk to people that like sort of invented like jiu-jitsu. If you went back and had a conversation with Carlos Gracie or something. Did he watch babies?
Yeah.
Did Elio watch like little babies and think, dude, that makes sense? Because I've done that. Like when my daughter was little, when she could walk and jump off stuff, I would use her. I would be like, help me teach landing mechanics, buddy, and have her jump off a box and land. And she'd jump off and it's perfect.
Yeah.
Toes up, heels up.
They haven't been
back is straight.
Programmed with anything else yet.
Well, not programmed with anything else, but because once again, when you're a toddler, you can't fuck it up or you're gonna fall over.
Yeah.
And so the technique is just there. Your balance is there. Nothing's super tight. You're not fucked up or anything like that. But you just do it. And I'd be like, buddy, come here. She'd, okay. Yeah, she'd just do it. And she wouldn't even think about it. And then I'd be like, yay, good job.
Nice.
And so consequently, like her posture and her landing mechanics are still really fucking perfect, even though she's 10 now. But like I reinforced that her whole life.
Yeah.
But I relearned it when I watched her do it. Got me thinking about it. It's very cool.
Yeah. Like kids. It's like in my kids' class, like they can like bounce almost. Like, you know what I mean? Like they can take a throw that would like kill an adult or almost, you know what I mean? Like put an adult down. You're like, Jesus Christ. But they just slap and bump and take off.
Like, they learn to fall real well. Once they pick it up quick.
Yeah, once that happens, it's kind of like they just roll out.
And almost literally all you got to do is tell them, don't put your hands down.
Yeah.
And they're like trusting of it. Like, you lack a lot of fear as a child.
Yeah.
And so consequently you have a lot of trust.
If you can
which
build
goes
that.
back to mentors. But it's so much easier.
Yep. And if you can like build that trust early on, like with the techniques moving and whatnot, like
get them teach them how to trust the technique.
Yeah.
And then they trust it and they're not doubting it. Which you try to teach that shit to an adult.
That can be tough.
And sometimes they're too dug in.
Yeah, there's hang up somewhere, whatever.
They got hang ups, or I'm like, fall. You can't fall and not hurt yourself, and then like you have to dig in on that. Like it's, oh my god, there's an entire martial art builder on it.
Well, that's the thing. Like the first thing I teach people, like coming through the door, is break falling. I'm like, you could walk out the door right now, slip on ice, and use this. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's the most important thing you'll ever learn.
You know, like I want like
break
my
fall,
parents. You know, like you gotta learn how to take that shit because most old people fucking fall, break stuff, and then fall, whatever. Like you still need to like learn to fall. Like,
but yeah, it's break falls and rolls,
getting up
and getting up. And
the next thing I teach them is getting up technically, and like it's just like you did this when you were a baby, you know, like it's just a matter of
you already know how to do it,
reprogramming your body to do it. Like, so,
what
babies are geniuses.
Be genius babies. There's a series on Netflix right now about babies that I started watching.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, I
gotta see it. I scrolled past it.
I watched a little bit of the first episode, and then my odyssey of my mom's surgery started. And now Altered Carbon season 2 is out, so I'll get back to babies. But
nice. Yeah,
sort of reinforce all these cool things I learned, and hopefully a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah. Just because, like, I mean, on top of being able to like take throws and stuff, like they can move like fluid.
They're super fluid. Yeah. Nothing's tied up.
Yeah, nothing's like tight. They're not hindered by tons of injuries or anything yet.
Hindered by injury. Yeah, and if you can like, it's the great the great fantasy of teaching, as if I can teach you it now right. What will you like? What will not happen to you?
Right.
Oh, you could avoid all this pain.
Yeah, exactly. That is a funny thing. Like you teach away from your pain. Like you're like, all right, this happened to me.
I don't want it to happen to any of you.
Not happen to this not happen for any of you.
I always tell my students this, and I tell my daughter this. I want you to make new mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, don't make the mistakes I made. I want you to make new mistakes, because like a lot of people leave it at don't make the mistakes I made, and then people think they have to be perfect.
Right.
You're like, no, I want you to make different mistakes.
Yeah, just do different things.
You don't need to make this shit. I'll teach you that. But you're gonna make different mistakes.
I got this bullshit
learn
covered.
things. Yeah, like you're gonna start out of a higher level.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a teaching identity thing too. Like, whether you like learn from limited teachers or like, I think that almost can come from like, you know how like it's my way or the highway kind of thing.
Very much so.
All right, fuck that. I don't want that to happen. So like,
yeah, well, because it's one extreme or the other. Either if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you, or it's I don't want that shit happen to me, and I want it to happen to you. Mm-hmm. And you almost got to meet in the middle.
Yeah, there has to be something to give.
Yeah, because sometimes, hey man, proper break fall, that's pretty much perfected.
Yeah.
So that's a good enough for me, good enough for you bit. But it's like, well, you know, I did this technique wrong for years and fucked myself up.
Yeah.
So don't do that. You know, and kind of there's your middle.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I spent forever at each belt. I wouldn't want that for my students, but at the same time, I want them to be seasoned and well enough to be comfortable and confident in that belt, but also not hold them there so long that they're like, does he hate me? Like,
do you hate me? Do I need to get a new belt?
Yeah. It's just like, you know, you shouldn't enter into that realm either, I don't think.
Well, maybe by choice.
Right.
That's kind of a realm I've always liked to be in. I've always been forced to advance. Mm-hmm. I never asked for it. I was always
never asked for it.
Yeah, I never asked. Oh, yeah, no, don't ask for it. But I never thought I should get it either.
Yeah.
And I'm just showing them fucking training.
Right.
And then it got to a point where like I was about to get my 5th degree black belt in Taekwondo, and I should have that. Mm-hmm. But I kind of wanted it, and then it all disappeared. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's a fun balance in life. The one belt I ever thought about getting.
Now it's gone.
And now I'm probably never going to have it. Interesting.
Something like that, it's almost like kind of scary, because you're like, that's pretty minor where that sort of thing happened. Like, what if that were applied to a much more like grand scale?
What does that apply to? Yeah. But then, like, on the flip side, I kind of took that mentality and used it the other direction, and where I was a white belt for nearly 4 years. By choice. Yeah. And I fucking gamed the system to stay that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally someone gave it to me surprisingly. Didn't see that coming.
Didn't think about it.
Didn't think about it at all. And Jake was like, hang on after class, and started talking to me about Kung Fu movies, which then led to the Donnie Yen connection, and I bought him Flashpoint, which kind of led to all this.
Yeah.
But he was like, someone's getting a belt today. And I'm like, it's got to be not. It's not me. It's you. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa.
That's the funny thing. They're like, Mike, come on up, and then you just don't move. They're like, it must be Mike, whatever.
Yeah, it's not a Mike. Yeah, there's plenty of
like,
Mikes.
There must be 2 mics in class today. And you're like, oh fuck, that was me.
Oh damn.
Semi surreal, yeah.
Yeah, which is a really cool experience to have. You know, but also still along the lines of not chasing belts, but then it's like a surprise.
Yeah.
Which is neat. You know.
That's, I think, the better way to do it, I think.
I agree. I think
just
it's
more fun and like just more meaningful. And
yeah, caring less about it allows you to care more about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It means more, I think, on the back end when you don't care as much. Right?
Mm-hmm. Oddly enough, it means a lot more. It has a lot more.
Because I've received belts where there were surprises, and I've received belts that they were like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna get this," and I was like, "Oh fuck, okay." Like,
right.
So then that took wind out of it a little bit. So like,
yeah,
I think
I'm all about the surprise.
Yeah,
it's much better.
Yeah,
having taken 1 million belt tests,
right?
I can have a reference point.
We don't belt test anymore, so that's awesome.
Wow, darn,
it's awesome.
Yeah, good,
love it. So.
Glad you guys got away from it.
Yeah. That was the first thing done away with almost.
Oh, funny. I was ahead of my time then, huh? But, yeah, I think taking that formality out of it and, like...
It's just weird.
Taking the studying for a test mentality out of it. Yeah. It's like the flaw in our educational system that got copied.
Yeah. It's like, why would you do that part of it? Like, why that?
That part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I like that just reinforce the idea of just show up and train.
That's what it does. It's like I showed up and trained. I was consistent. I did this. This happened.
Yeah, and you're not like memorize this. Got it.
Yeah. It wasn't like I've reached this accolade. I've reached this checkpoint. I've reached this. I deserve this.
Yeah, and there's the
dangerous path.
In Taekwondo, there was always this thing with that no one ever explained. That it took me a lot of years to figure out because of the way the system was worked out with the belt tests and shit. Of black belt's not a goal. It's like, then why the fuck do you have all these tests?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck do you have requirements for it? It's not a goal. It's just a step.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it started out that way. That was sort of the leftover saying from how it used to be before you had all the steps and the forms and the belts and shit when everyone just showed up and trained.
Yeah.
And then it got formalized, and you have the sort of the leftover saying of the old days that should apply morally but doesn't. Mm-hmm. And so then you get this weird ass becomes a Buddhist koan of the unanswerable question, right?
Yeah.
But it's a 100% answerable question. It's just from a different time, and it took me forever to get that because of the system. And then I got it, and the system's gone, and I reject the system completely. And then I find jiu-jitsu
in your system.
Badass.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted it to be, which is like why I was so like we used to talk about this in the beginning of why I was so like latched onto the fantasy of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of studied the culture of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I picked out the things I really liked. And I said, I'm going to hold on to this fantasy because this is my second chance, and I just want it to be the dream.
Yeah, and I was like, do that.
You're like, that's cool, man.
You embrace your fantasy. Like,
yeah, because it was fun. It was just
that too, and also like not everyone gets that type of second chance with it.
Mm-hmm. Like, and that's why I was so tight on it.
Yeah.
That's why I still am. That's how this is going to work. Because I realize that I have that level of control on it.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't. Where you don't, you think you have to do what your teacher says.
Right.
And you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah.
Like, and don't be a dick in class and be like, whoa, what if you did this? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the overall general journey of it.
Smile, nod, do what you did anyway, do what you're going to do anyway. Just do the thing.
You don't have to get the belts at the fast time or the stripes or do the thing or compete.
And that's a funny, like, downside of the social media thing with jiu-jitsu is, like, people put out all these articles, all these things, like, it's pumping into the brain, you know? Like, do you fucking do your thing. It's your path. It's your whatever.
That's a hard thing to figure out, though, if you don't have I have a reference point for the path. I've tried other things. I've done other ways.
Yeah.
And I've settled on it. So now I can confidently just go to what the path would have been anyway.
Right.
and it's hard to just drop in with nothing and be like, well, this is the path.
Right.
And you can't see it. It's weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, like, you did it with like a different martial art, so that's cool. I did it with like different programming, different.
But you got different takes on the same martial art. Which was cool. And I did that in Taekwondo. I had a lot of different teachers. I had a lot of different takes, and even if it was still kind of stuck in the same similar format, I got a lot of different takes and ideas and ways of doing it. Which helped.
That's the thing, like, the first half of whatever, like, you know, the first era, the Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages, yes.
I learned a lot, and, like, I downloaded a lot of information that I hadn't put to use yet, and I was, like, so busy dealing with other bullshit.
That you couldn't put to use.
So then when I got to the second half, I got to the point where I could just, like, unpack it all and play with it and do my thing with it. And now it's turned into
something
much healthier, better thing. Like, the first half kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and I stuck fucking with it, and I was like, I'm gonna make this better. I know what this is for me. Like, I can make this better.
It's the other end of learning what not to do.
Yeah.
People a lot of times, I'm a bad example. I'm what not to do.
And then they never shit with some of that stuff. I'm just rooting. I was like, yep.
But then they never like tell anyone of what to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to figure that out for yourself. And you have. And you've kind of got to go to the other side of that, which is cool.
Because and that's jiu-jitsu as my vehicle to that, because I got alone. I played by myself. And I played with it, and I did the same shit, outside of that, and I expanded my life.
But having that time alone. I'll tell you that story about Dr. Carr when snowboarding first hit the Olympics, and we took all the medals. The U.S. did. And he was one of the he taught the coaching master's PhD program, and I had him have him for a class. And he was really cool, and he knew John Wooden, and he helped USA Soccer develop a system and all this cool stuff. He's a good guy, but he was harping on it the whole time. It's because they were allowed to just get on the half pipe and play. No one bugged them. They just got out there and they played alone. No coaches, no one. That's why they're so great, right?
Yeah.
But it's true. Because they coaches teach you things and give you a base, and you have a place to jump off of. But sometimes you just got to go jump off by yourself.
Yeah.
And just do your thing and experiment without anyone telling you what to do or correcting you or saying it was anything. It was good or bad.
This past month, we were teaching takedowns and stuff, and I was like, I would touch on 3 or 4 little things, and I'd just be like, go do it, go play. I'm like, I don't care what you get out of it. Off balance them, find what you find.
Yeah. Where
play.
does it go? Yeah.
But then after that, and then we had show and tell, and I was like, all right, show me what you found.
What'd you figure out?
Everyone did a thing and stuff, and it was fun. So
that's a really cool way of learning. Ooh, we're about done.
Yeah, I gotta teach it private, unfortunately.
All right, well.
But we got a couple more minutes, so.
All right, well, I mean, life is still fair.
Yeah.
But this is I like the positive, we're a little more, I don't know, not positive, but a little more complete now that you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have to be negative.
Yeah, I think we are the retort to the movie, being everyone's fucking dying. We're like, it's okay, guys.
We're still alive. We're still alive.
Yeah, you won't fucking die. Bad choices won't kill you today, hopefully, unless you're terrible, don't do heroin or some shit. But that's a bad choice.
But making good choices can have good consequences. It's not like a good bad. This much bad, this much good.
Right.
But bad choices can come around. You can destroy your body, but then learn how to fix your body in a very similar modality and make it positive and better.
Yeah.
But you can also just decide to train the right way. And
these are the cards you're dealt. What are you going to do with them?
Play your hand. But play your hand strategically and intelligently.
Play it the best you can.
You can win at anything with whatever hand you have.
Yeah.
It doesn't really... it doesn't matter. You don't have to trade it in. You don't need any aces to win the game. I was just kind of thinking of different submissions and just
how the types of submissions that I used to like and still really like towards what I play now. It's just so many different little pieces, and it's just so fun.
Yeah, everything sort of informs everything else.
Yeah,
which is super fun.
We're obviously interested in the jiu-jitsu headspace all of the time, or a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I apply that a lot, and that's been a massive portion of my life and upbringing. So I apply that to that a lot.
Yeah, well, it's your vehicle to figure it out.
Yeah.
And like martial arts in general has been my vehicle to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone needs you need a way in.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's your way in.
As I've gotten in, it's been grappling, the umbrella of grappling. Jiu-jitsu has been like my highest rank and like time and whatnot, and like accomplishment wise. But like judo, wrestling, catch, sambo, like grappling. I've trained and studied and like dug into grappling, and grappling is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's
we started a podcast because of grappling.
Yeah, but it's the way into the philosophy.
Yeah.
It's rather than memorizing the philosophy, you're creating the situation that created the fucking philosophy.
Yeah. Which is tight.
Which is very Marcus Aurelius of it, right? Yes.
Yeah. Alright, that's good.
Alright, we're done, man.
Cool, let's do it. Have a good week.
Yeah. Keep your coffee regular, everybody.
Regular.
Peace in.